We all know that change is the only constant thing in this world. And today's discussion, I am going to discuss to you the 7 ways technology impact your daily life. In other words, how technology affects our life and how it did huge impact in our daily lives. Technology has had a huge impact in our daily lives from social media to work. We look at the area most hit. According to Jack Turner, technology affects almost every aspect of 21st century of life, from transport efficiency and safety to access to food and healthcare, socialization and productivity. The power of the internet has enabled global communities to form ideas and resources to be shared, to be shared more easily. However, the overuse of some technology has been linked to decline in the mental health, increased social division, and a privacy concerns. We take technology for granted every day, even when it's delivering us the latest news in an instant, making our capus, cappuccino or connecting us with a loved one halfway across the country or even the world. All of the recent innovation, which are the ones that we truly couldn't imagine everyday life without, has the coronavirus pandemic made us even more reliant teach, to take, I mean, or help us overcome the year's challenges? We take a look at the 7 most important ways that technology has impacted in our lives in our recent years. First, we have improved communication. Second, decreased privacy. Third, accessible shopping. Fourth is a better information access. Five is a virtual social lives. Six, flexible working. And the last one is the smarter health tracking. First, I am going to discuss to you the improved communication. Come here, Watson, I need to see you. These were the first words that Alexander Graham Bell uttered over his revolutionary invention back in 1876. And it is fair to say that the trusty telephone has had a good run. Bell originally dreamed that there would be one every town. He was right, of course. In fact, these days, there's one in every person's pocket. However, technology has seen traditional audio call being aged out in favor of messaging and social media as a way of touching base. Another medium that has seen boom in the last few years in video calling. It is nothing particularly new. The concept has been around for about as long as Bell's telephone, but the revolution of spread speed, I mean broadband at affordable prices means that it's now easy to send and receive the amounts of data needed for a video call. While video calling has spent the last decade slowly creeping into daily life, it is the ongoing pandemic that has pushed it over the edge and secured its future as an everyday way to stay in touch. Thanks to lockdown and social distancing, families and friends are meeting up and socializing via video call more than ever before. If you haven't if you have not heard of Zoom last year, you will have certainly become aware of it this year. And while there are plenty of other video conferencing apps out there, it's Zoom that has emerged the poster child for video chat in the public consciousness. This is backed up by the firm's impressive claim of 300 million daily participants earlier in the year compared to just 10 million back in December 2019. Second, we have the decreased privacy. We're spending more of our lives online than ever before. According to one report, Americans spent 6.5 hours a day online in 2019, a stat that it is bound to have skyrocketed rocket since lockdown started. Shopping, it is done on Amazon. Catching up with friends, it is FaceTime. Snapchat or email, want to be entertained, Netflix or online gaming. Research, hit it up Google. Almost every phase of our daily routines can be catered for online today. So it seems inevitable that our time spent online will only increase. Next, we have accessible shopping. As we as we have mentioned, shopping has found a convenient and a popular home online. That that but that's not to say that high street is to be ignored after all. You cannot really beat seeing a product in the flesh before you buy it. And you can eat out online just yet. You can order a delivery, but that's not quite the same. Technology has not passed physically physical shopping either, thanks to contactless card and phone payments. We don't need to worry handling about handing over cash or keying in pay keying in a pin number. Just tap to pay and you're done. Next, we have a better information access. Today, if you want to find something out, it is no more strenuous than a couple of clicks. For many of us, we don't even need to move from the spot. Simply pull out your phone and get googling or even ask your smart home assistant. It may seem like a distant memory, but it was not so long ago that you had to take trip to the library to find out more in-depth information about a subject, if it was available at all. Now, due to these advances or advancement in technology, you can find hundreds of thousands of web pages dedicated to pretty much anything you can dream of. From croquet patterns, Google gives a result. It's sometimes to a click, but there is literally an awe for anything, and they've rendered a lot of other mediums all but obsolete for many of us. Take GPS for example. If you want to know how to get somewhere, it is simply case of pulling up an app like a Google Maps, choosing the best route which will come complete with directions as well as the satellite imaging. Next, we have the virtual social lives. Another seismic change in our life has been the introduction of social media. This industry has progressed, in the early days of the likes of MySpace in the original iteration of a Facebook, it seems like bygone age already. Services is Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram, and other now is give us insight into the waking lives to other in a other real time. Next, we have the flexible working. 2010 will be remembered for a lot of a negative reason, but one of its most defining positive has been the widespread acceptance of a working from home. With the pandemic in full swing, many had to abandon their offices and log on from their own residences. At its peak, at its peak, 42% of Americans were working from home according to one study. And even once in this pandemic has passed, the trend looks to continue with a large companies such as Twitter and Microsoft already stating that their staff can work from home indefinitely. For many, working home base has been something of a revelation, no communicating more flexible hours, a lesson environment impact, and being able to choose where they work from. All this is made possible thanks to technological advancement, yet again, a perfect marriage of a hardware and broadband. That's not to say working outside the office doesn't have its challenges. Organizing employees who are spread across various locations successfully can routinely present problems. But yet again, our friend technology's progress come to the reduce this time with remote working software, which can aid in organization, time management, goal focus and structure. Next, we have the smarter health tracking. Another trend in technology has been the rise of fitness devices. Well, we've been using Teach to help us straighten for many years now. We've never before been able to do it such a scientific degree with with instant feedback and recommendations from devices that can monitor our workout as well as complete them. If you want to know how to invest it, we are in the fitness technology market. Look no further than Apple, whose Apple Watch is heavily advertised as a fitness device. In year 2019, the company sold 31 million of them, making it the most popular watch brand in the world, past surprising likes of traditional brands like Rolex and Omega. And so there we have it. Seven dramatic ways that technology has impacted our lives for good. Of course, technology never takes rest, and you can bet that it won't be long before some of the devices and services we've covered here are superseded in many cases. Their next iteration is already being worked on in love somewhere. Regardless, there's no denying the technology that has and will continue to have a huge impact in our lives in one year or another. And that would be all. Thank you.